Have you ever felt like a taken woman? A friend, coworker, or someone you see often is acting differently around you? Maybe she lingers in conversations, looks at you in ways that feel deeper than friendly, or finds reasons to cross paths with you. But then you stop yourself. She's in a relationship, so it couldn't be anything more. Or could it? Here's the truth. When a woman who's already taken starts falling for someone else, she won't make it obvious. She'll hide her feelings and deny them, even to herself. But no matter how much she tries to suppress it, the truth leaks out in subtle ways. The problem? Most guys completely miss the signs, or worse, misread them. Make sure you don't miss signs 6 and 9. These are two of the biggest giveaways, and the ones most guys overlook. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch for. Let's start with how her gaze can reveal everything she's trying to deny. The shift in eye contact. When a woman is falling for you but trying to deny it, especially if she's already in a relationship, her eyes will give her away. Watch how often she looks at you and where her eyes go. If her gaze lingers on yours for longer than 3 to 5 seconds, it's not accidental. Even more telling is the direction of her gaze. Does she look at your left eye, then your right, and down to your lips? That's the triangle method, a subconscious signal of attraction that women can't hide. Another thing to note, when she's talking to you, her eyes might sparkle with extra focus, or her pupils might dilate slightly. These are subtle, physiological signs of arousal. Even if she's taken, her body can't help but respond when she's drawn to you. Now, if she's trying to hide her feelings, she'll act differently in group settings. She might avoid direct eye contact when others are around, especially her partner, to downplay her interest. But when it's just the two of you, those stolen glances and held gazes are crystal clear. If her eyes are saying one thing, her voice might be saying another. Let's talk about how her tone gives her away next. 2. Her voice softens around you. You might not notice it right away, but her voice changes when she's around you. A woman who's taken won't want to make her interest obvious, but her tone will betray her. When she talks to you, it'll soften. She'll sound warmer, more playful, or slower. Compare how she speaks to her partner, friends, or colleagues. Around them, she might be louder or more formal. Around you, there's a noticeable shift. Here's another giveaway: laughter. Does she laugh more when you're around, even at jokes that aren't particularly funny? It's not about the joke, it's about you. Her brain associates laughter with connection, and she's trying to create that with you, whether she realizes it or not. Women also use tone to subtly draw attention to themselves. For example, her voice might drop slightly, forcing you to lean in closer to hear her, or she might stretch her words in a playful way when teasing you. These are calculated moves that feel casual on the surface, but reveal what's going on underneath. Her voice might hint at her feelings, but what she talks about reveals even more. Let's dive into her curiosity about your life. 3. She asks deep or personal questions. A woman who's taken has to tread carefully, but she'll still find ways to get closer to you emotionally. One of the easiest ways? Asking questions that go beyond small talk. She'll want to know what makes you tick, your goals, your dreams, even your opinions on relationships. Pay attention to how deep her questions go. Does she ask about your childhood or why you made certain life choices? Does she seem genuinely fascinated by your answers? And it doesn't stop there. If she remembers the things you tell her and brings them up weeks later, that's a huge sign she's emotionally invested. This level of curiosity isn't something women show casually, especially if they're in a relationship. She might frame it as innocent conversation, but she's really creating an emotional bridge between the two of you. If her words are building a connection, her appearance might be amplifying the attraction. Let's see how she's subtly dressing for you. 4. Subtle changes in her appearance around you. She's not going to show up wearing a ball gown, but her style will shift in subtle, deliberate ways. A taken woman falling for you will make small adjustments to how she looks, just enough to get your attention without making it obvious. Look for outfits that highlight her best features. A fitted white V-neck shirt or a tank top that shows just enough skin. paired with well-fitted jeans that hug her curves, are classic choices. It's not just about the clothes, though. Notice the details. Is she wearing a new perfume, adding bolder lipstick, or accessorizing with jewelry she doesn't normally wear? These small changes are designed to catch your eye. Even her body language can signal attraction. When she's around you, she might adjust her clothes, smooth her hair, or touch her neck. All subconscious moves to draw your attention. Her appearance might draw you in, but her reactions when you mention other women reveal even more. Let's talk about jealousy. 5. The micro-jealousy reactions. Jealousy is one of the hardest feelings to hide, and for a woman who's taken, it'll show in micro-reactions. When you casually mention another woman, whether it's a coworker, a date, or even a celebrity, pay attention to her face. Does her smile falter for just a second? Do her eyes narrow slightly, or does her tone change when she asks, "Oh, who's she?" Some women will fidget, cross their arms, or look away to mask their feelings, but their discomfort is still visible. Others might try to disguise their jealousy as teasing, making sarcastic comments about the woman you mentioned, or jokingly questioning your taste. These small, almost involuntary responses show that she's emotionally invested in you, something she can't admit to herself or anyone else. If her reactions show you what she's feeling, her actions, where she chooses to be and who she chooses to be near, make things even clearer. 6. She finds excuses to be near you. A woman who's taken will rarely admit she wants to be close to you, but her actions will betray her. She'll find ways to cross your path or linger in your presence. At work, she might time her coffee break to match yours, or conveniently need help with something only you can provide. If she's a friend or acquaintance, she'll unexpectedly show up at events or places where she knows you'll be. Pay close attention to the subtle shifts in her behavior. Does she sit closer to you during group settings? Does she hover after conversations instead of walking away like everyone else? These aren't coincidences. They're deliberate choices. Even in casual situations, proximity is a strong indicator. If you notice that she always ends up near you, whether at meetings, social gatherings, or during random moments, it's because she feels drawn to you, and being near you gives her a sense of connection. If she's trying to stay close to you, her body language will give away even more clues. Let's break down the subtle movements that reveal what she's really feeling. 7. Her body language betrays her. A taken woman will try to keep things neutral, but her body won't cooperate. Look at how she positions herself when you're around. Does she lean in when you talk, even when she doesn't need to? Are her feet pointing toward you, even if her words suggest she's uninterested? These unconscious movements are impossible to fake. Another big giveaway is nervous energy. When she's around you, she might fidget, playing with her hair, adjusting her clothes, or lightly tapping her fingers on a surface. These micro movements signal heightened awareness and attraction. Watch for subtle attempts to close the gap. She may place her hand near yours on a table or step into your personal space during a conversation. If you step back slightly and she steps forward again, it's a clear sign she wants to bridge that distance. If her body is moving toward you, even in small ways, the next step is physical contact. Let's talk about the subtle touches that tell you she's interested. 8. She engages in subtle physical touch. Touch is risky for a woman who's taken, but if she's falling for you, it's a line she might cautiously test. It won't be blatant. She's not going to grab your hand or lean on your shoulder. Instead, it'll be small, almost imperceptible touches that seem casual but aren't. Think about those moments when she brushes your arm while laughing, taps your hand to emphasize a point, or accidentally bumps into you when passing by. These aren't random. Touch is a powerful way to create intimacy, and even light contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Here's the key. It's not about how often she touches you, it's about how deliberate it feels. A woman who isn't interested won't go out of her way to initiate physical contact. If she's finding reasons to touch you, she's testing the waters. If her touch is deliberate, her emotional investment will be just as intentional. Let's explore how her actions show she's prioritizing you emotionally. 9. She invests emotional energy in you. When a woman in a relationship is falling for someone else, her emotional energy will shift. She'll start prioritizing you in small but meaningful ways. Does she remember your birthday? Or celebrate your accomplishments in a way that feels more personal than friendly? Does she check in on you, asking how your day went or if you need anything? These aren't just polite gestures. They're signs that she's mentally and emotionally invested in you. Look for moments when she goes out of her way to make you feel supported, even when she doesn't have to. For example, she might text you after a big meeting to ask how it went, or offer advice on something she knows is important to you. Women in relationships are careful about where they direct their emotional energy. If she's pouring it into you instead of her partner, it's because you've become a priority in her mind. If she's emotionally invested in you, there's one more sign that will solidify what's really going on. Let's talk about how her behavior changes when she's trying to hide her feelings. 10. She behaves differently around you. One of the most revealing signs is how her overall behavior changes when you're around. A woman who's taken and falling for someone else will try to act normal, but her efforts to mask her feelings often make her stand out even more. Does she seem more nervous, fidgety, or animated when you're nearby? Does she laugh louder, talk more, or try to appear more confident? These exaggerated behaviors often come from an attempt to impress you or hide her true feelings. On the flip side, some women might go the other direction, acting colder or more distant to throw you off. But even that's telling. If she suddenly pulls back or avoids interaction with you when she's typically friendly, it's often because she's overthinking her feelings and trying to suppress them. Pay attention to the contrast between how she behaves with you versus others. These shifts are rarely random and often reveal her internal struggle between what she feels and what she's trying to deny. All right, now I've got to ask, do you think it's ever okay to act on these signs if she's taken? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Be honest. I know some of you have been in this situation before.